Mac reveals his ocular pat-down glasses, which, mock him all you want, I think they're neat. I'd rock these on the daily, and finally get the local kids to stop bullying me.
Now I can determine a subject's threat level without him being able to feel my retinal assessment.
Which is a great advantage because the guy can't see how scared Mac is.
Yes, and no, that's not what it's about.
He makes use of them immediately when the pesky lawyer shows up.
He's clear.
He's here with the news that Pop Pop is on life support, and the ones with the legal right to decide his fate are Dennis and Dee. Frank claims that he's been looking after him, but he's surrounded by tubs of rancid soup, and he hasn't been washed in months.
I didn't have a chance to tidy.
Tidy? Frank, the man is rotting.
Frank's ulterior motive here is to obtain the gold that Pop Pop stashed away from his time of being a very naughty boy in World War II. While Dennis and Dee deliberate on their decision on whether or not to switch off his life support, Charlie had no hesitation in his decision to eat the rancid soup, which might be the most disgusting moment in the show so far. Mac starts eating it too, impressed by Charlie's impulsiveness.
You see free soup, you make a decision to eat it. It's horrible. It's terrible soup, but we gotta stick with our decisions, right?
Being on the same wavelength, they secretly plan to find the treasure themselves, as Charlie believes that he kept one of the paintings that was done by the naughtiest boy in World War II. They follow a trail of owners of the painting, as Frank gave it away. One person in the chain is Cricket, who's now working in a dog shelter, and he's obtained a nasty scar from a vicious Labrador.
I won't go into details, but suffice to say that dog is very paralyzed now.
After watching a very damning video about Pop Pop, which I certainly can't show you here, they decide it's time for him to die, but realise that they might not be ready to watch a human die by their hands, so maybe they can warm up to the idea by seeing it happen to a dog first. But at the kennel, they all look too cute. That is up until...
Pick me? What? Put me down. Pick me. I deserve it.
The lawyer loses his patience and gets them to grant him power of attorney so he can switch off the life support, which morbidly but comically doesn't work straight away, as Pop Pop starts breathing by himself.
How long until he's not breathing on his own?
Until he perishes. Months, weeks, days, who knows? He's a fighter, this one.
Charlie and Mac find the painting in a dentist's office, but they disagree on what to do with it, with Charlie wanting it back up on his wall, and Mac wanting to be rewarded and being hailed as the kind of hero they'd make a movie about, with Ryan Gosling playing him. With this disagreement, Mac makes the decision to knock Charlie out with the gas, but he erroneously took the wrong painting, and Charlie, while high on gas, lays down how foolish he is.
Ryan Gosling playing you? Ridiculous.
He then claims it's not a naughty boy painting anyway, it's one of his own works, and just wanted help getting it back. But then, when it's burning in the alleyway, he says that it was one of Pop Pop's paintings, but he painted over it, so he's not really sure who the original was by. Kind of a mid-experience for a season opening. For me, there wasn't really many laughs, despite enjoying the rancid soup scene, simply for how grotesque it was. Slightly better than Mac's mum burns her house down from season 6. So that's where I'm placing it, at number 51. We have another banned episode, for the same reason they banned the Billboard episode. If you want my thoughts on that decision, refer back to my season 4 video. In this episode, the trash men are on strike, and the trash is piling up like crazy. They come up with a plan to cash in on this by taking over the trash men's jobs. The gimmick of this episode, as suggested by the title, is that they're having many of the same conversations as 2 previous episodes. The gang runs for office.
Am I supposed to vote for the Democrat who's going to blast me in the ass, or the Republican who's blasting my ass? Politics. I'm supposed to vote for the Republican who's blasting me in the ass, or the Democrat who's blasting me in the ass?
And the gang solves the gas crisis.
Guess I cut the brakes! Wild card, bitches! Yeah! Wild card, bitches! What? Yeah!
I'm wondering if this is a meta joke, where the showrunners feel those episodes are trash, with a few good jokes that can be recycled. But a better guess would be that the gang's plans in those episodes were trash, and fast forward to now, they're playing on the actual trash situation.
I feel like you guys have done something like that before.
Have we?
Not wanting an exact replay of events, Dennis gets them a limo rather than a van, so they can at least collect trash in style. Frank is wanting an exact replay of his plan, insisting that Dee makes herself look very available so they can bribe the official to keep the strike going. Then they realise it's the same guy who they tried to bribe in that previous episode, but it turned out he was gay. So Dee was never going to charm him, and she suggests that Frank might be his cup of tea.
You like what you see? I still got the moves.
How can you not love Danny DeVito? The problem with the limo idea is that it wasn't designed for carrying a large amount of trash, and the whole thing, including the guys, gets absolutely covered in seagull crap.
The gulls are shitting all over me.
No, look, we've essentially become garbage men. That's what I was trying to avoid.
They decide the best solution is to dump it all in a bad neighbourhood, reasoning that a bad neighbourhood will already have tons of trash in it. And it happens to be the same neighbourhood where the sanitation union's having their rally. Seeing this and egged on by Dee, who's playing her caricature of a minority, they form an angry mob to attack these white boys who dare dump their trash here, with Dee not realising this was the gang. Charlie, not wanting them to move on to another plan, says it's time to get the gas crisis van back, resuming his role as the wild card, which they predicted would happen.
I saw that coming a mile away.
Right, now that we got rid of our wild card, we can actually see this thing through.
This whole plan gets shut down by the strikes ending, and that's it for the episode. I really enjoyed the limousine stuff. That was really fun, especially them coming up with a song as a sales pitch, knowing that their conversation skills suck.
We bet you hate that smell.
That smell
from all your trash. We bet you'd like 3 charming men to take your trash from you.
While I do appreciate the effort to reincorporate the earlier episodes, that kind of writing isn't easy. I just don't find the end result feeling that special. Still, I had fun with it, ranking it at number 36, just above the last episode to have the word trash in the title. I promise that wasn't intentional. I love this one. It has such a unique feel to it, and it really freshens up the Always Sunny experience, being mostly shot, directed, and edited to feel like a short horror movie. As the title suggests, it's Maureen Ponderosa's wedding day, getting married to Liam McPoyle, which the gang find very confusing, as the McPoyle family are all about keeping their love within the same gene pool.
We haven't bred outside the bloodline.
For 1,000 years?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
And you can see Glenn Howerton try not to crack up, with Liam's passionate denial of not being in love with Ryan.
What's your brother think about all this?
Ryan's dead to me. You hear me? He's dead!
So, I take it he...
The story of this wedding is playing alongside a retelling for the police. The gang fall out over their different intentions for being here. Some want to disrupt the marriage, and some want it to happen, most desperately for Dennis, who wants Maureen to be married, so he no longer has to pay her alimony. The inciting incident where they believe this wedding turned into a massacre is Frank being bitten by a bat, and Dee sucking out the poison.
Did you swallow it?
Of course I
Make
swallowed.
yourself throw up? Yeah, you swallowed the poison!
Vomit!
Which is just ridiculous. Bats are never the cause of any kind of outbreak. Also, I really like China. Great food, great government, no problems there. Seeing the rest of the McPoyle family will always be funny to me, most notably these unibrow bridesmaids, who look like some kind of three-headed creature. And of course, we can't forget to mention that Pappy McPoyle is played by Guillermo del Toro.
McPoyles sprung from my loins, fully formed. One of them babies tried to eat me. I ate him first.
Dennis goes to hand Maureen some legal papers to completely sever his legal obligations to her, but when she turns around,
Why, Maureen, you've enhanced yourself.
he ends up destroying the wedding himself by sleeping with her. Meanwhile, the other wedding guests are acting like zombies, which makes for a very entertaining sequence of events, playing out like a zombie movie. I won't get into all of it, as you need to see this one for yourself. Honestly, it's great. To me, one of the funniest moments is when they check in on Ryan and Liam, and Ryan's making these weird gagging noises.
What are you guys doing?
I'm begging Liam for forgiveness.
In the end, this supposed zombie outbreak was because Bill Ponderosa spiked the punch bowl, and everyone was high on bath salts. I love the unique style, the weirdness of it all, and I also love Charlie's version of the speech from Jaws while explaining the zombie situation.
It's got lifeless eyes, black eyes like a doll's eye. Don't seem to be living at all when it come at you.
Lifeless eyes, black eyes like a doll's eyes.
There's just something about this one though that doesn't feel like classic Sunny. It is very well made, but maybe not as funny as some of the top tier ones. So it's not going to be a top 10, but it gets a respectable position 15. For some reason, Dee's helping Charlie to keep tabs on the waitress, and he makes the claim that without him doing this weird stalker stuff, her life would be in shambles. She makes it known that she wants him gone for good, and finally Charlie seems to accept it. When Dee pulls away, a car smashes into them, and they turn out to be an attractive brother and sister, who they instantly have a spark with. Can't play the audio here unfortunately. Not that I can hear anything other than Heavenly Angels when Alexandra Daddario's on screen. Such a small detail, but I love this moment before the title card. The family turn out to be the very wealthy Taft family, so to get into their circle, the gang encourage Charlie and Dee to be anything but themselves. But as the dinner date goes on, their temptations to be trashy become too strong.
I'm sorry, can't do it. Alright, then screw it. Because I've been eyeing this guy all night long. Excuse me. Oh, Patty, hello.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ruby and Trevor Taft are so relieved, thinking they had made friends with more high-class bores. The rest of the gang are convinced that Charlie and Dee are being played, as it makes no sense why the Taft family would want to be friends with them. So they insert themselves into their social plans, with Dennis promising not to hit on Ruby, but then his instincts take over.
What do you think about this?
About what?
What I'm presenting you.
As Charlie predicted, the waitress's life has been falling apart while he's been preoccupied with Ruby. She lashes out at Ruby unfairly, so Charlie makes this bold move.
Shut up, bitch! Who the hell is this, Charlie?
Hey, she's my girlfriend.
Oh my god.
Later at the party, the gang realise they've been recruited as people to place bets on who's the biggest degenerate or biggest loser. Not really sure exactly, but you get the idea. Dennis destroys their plans by showing a secret recording of Mac and Trevor getting oiled up and wrestling in a very passionate way.
I didn't know I was being filmed. If you're in my room, you're always being filmed.
You are.
It's true.
He does. It's his
Always
thing.
does.
But what about Ruby and Charlie? Well, he gets a call from the waitress saying that she wants him back in her life. And so that's the end of dating Ruby, which she's deeply upset by, as she wasn't trying to play him and was genuinely into him. But Charlie is so in love with the waitress that this relationship doesn't matter. And as a leave-in present, he gives her a dressing down about being so easily obtainable.
A quality woman doesn't do that. She doesn't say yes right away. She says no to a man for years, like 10 years. That's what a real woman does.
It's good, but not one of my favourites. It's hard for me to pinpoint why that is, other than saying, for the most part, the jokes weren't as memorable. Kinda similar to how I feel about Mac and Charlie write a movie, so it's just above that at number 41. Dee's at her therapist feeling angry, as after a dinner party she was expected to do the dishes, and she feels that it's the therapist's fault for giving her bad advice on how to handle the situation. She's brought in the rest of the gang, so the therapist can assess their part in this.
I ain't doing these goddamn dishes.
She assesses them one by one, with the noble intention of tackling a deeper issue than who should do the dishes, but with the gang being so obnoxious to deal with, this ends up going nowhere. I love this episode for each of their crash outs, as the therapist addresses issues that they're not quite ready to accept. As we're watching Mac right now, let's bring up this clip of one of his most iconic quotes in the whole show.
I gained and lost 60 pounds in 3 months.
Wow, that's almost impossible.
Well, first of all, through God, all things are possible, so jot that down.
Moving on to my favourite crash out, which is Frank, saying that he refuses to let her in his mind, but it only takes one mention of his long lost love for him to become completely unzipped.
She died 2 weeks later. She thought she was a spaceman with a plastic bag for a helmet.
One of the first lines here completely kills me, as he's describing how bad his first kiss was.
That's because she had no lips, but her mouth was still very much in play.
Honestly, Danny DeVito is so much more than a comedy actor. His acting in general is top notch. But yeah, when he goes full meltdown mode, the comedy side is absolute peak.
It's all coming back, you understand? I don't like it. I don't like to think about it.
With the whole gang an emotional wreck, they force the therapist into solving the issue that they want her to solve, not the one that she feels professionally obligated to.
Dishes! Okay! Dee, do the dishes.
Probably not a casual watch for new fans, who wouldn't yet care for a deep dive on these characters. But for established fans like me, this one is easily in the A tier, if my rankings were in tiers. Which, as they're not, I feel that number 20 is the right place. Considering Lynn Marie Stewart actually died of cancer, the reveal in this episode feels awful to laugh at. Maybe as a comedy actor, she would see the funny side in the irony here, and we won't let that affect our enjoyment of the episode, which is pretty good. So as the title suggests, Mrs. Kelly has cancer. He breaks the news to the gang at an inconvenient time for Dennis, who just realised that he doesn't have any feelings.
Jeez, that's
terrible.
What the hell is that, dude? That didn't sound very genuine.
No.
Max says not to worry, his mum knows the right doctor to cure Mrs. Kelly's cancer. The doctor is revealed to be P. Diddy, who starred in this prior to being outed as a horrible predator, which is my version of some words that can't be said here. For the sake of character preservation and not holding what he did against the show, we'll say that it's okay to find Dr. Jinx funny, because he is. The gang are sceptical about his skills, especially when his cure for Dennis lacking feelings is to bust out a bass guitar jam. Their next idea is to turn to God, and Charlie's growing frustrated, feeling that no actual help is being given, and takes issue with giving money to a church that seems to have lots of it already. Right now, they're asking for more, as someone damaged the Virgin Mary statue.
No, why don't you give us some money, okay? How much is that ring worth? That looks like an expensive ring. Can we have the ring?
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, Father. I will pray for his sins.
Their final idea is to have a beef and beer fundraiser, but with Mrs. Kelly not looking very sick, they get to work adding lesions and a bald cap. What follows next is one of the funniest speeches in the whole show, as it's clear what parts of Mrs. Kelly's speech were written by Charlie.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
But then she drops the bombshell that she doesn't have cancer. She was trying to raise money with Mac's mum to pay for the repairs on the Virgin Mary statue, as they're the ones who did it. The B story is Frank losing his marbles, and D keeps taking advantage of it. So in revenge, he tells them that their mother faked her own death, and is using her grave to hide Frank's money. But when they dig up the coffin, she's actually in there. This trauma resulting in Dennis obtaining feelings once again.
I feel too much. You made me dig up my dead mother because I said you were losing it?
It's an example of an episode that has some good standout moments, of which the fandom love to reference. But overall, it's nothing too outstanding, kinda how I feel about the Antisocial Network, and I think I like this one a little more, so it goes at number 28.
They just adore you. Yeah, they try to adore you. I adore you. I adore you. We
Alright, now we're cooking again. Charlie and Frank as a duo are at their best here, and by best I mean they're being awful human beings while running the business together.
If we're gonna turn this company around, we gotta start cutting the crust off this shit sandwich.
The company that Frank founded is facing a financial crisis with someone trying to buy them out, and they realise that extreme circumstances call for them to bring back an extreme person.
Hello!
Is this the Warthog?
I ain't heard that name in a long time.
He takes on Charlie as his personal assistant, and they're both dressed like stockbrokers from the 80s. And Frank's views towards minorities and women are equally as outdated.
There are too many minorities and women working here. What's up with that?
I got all that. I'm on it.
Next, we see the reason why he's called the Warthog. Seeing this dumb intern struggling to fix a simple issue with the printer that took Frank only seconds to resolve.
Did I just do your job for you?
Excuse me?
Did I just do your job for you?
Before we go further with the A story, we gotta make some ground on B. The rest of the gang found a wallet in the bar, belonging to a guy called Brian Lefebvre, who also has tickets for a baseball game, so naturally they're taking them.
Boom, I got your warrant!
Boom, I got your credit card! Boom, I got your fitness ticket!
Suspecting that Brian would have been meeting others in this VIP booth, or VIP box, whatever this kind of room is called. Dennis takes on the role of Brian Lefebvre, which means that D has to play his wife Prudence, and Mac inserts himself in this as their driver/bodyguard.
Who needs a beer?
Oh,
I do.
I love a beer. Thank you.
Vic, you're working. Come on.
You're working.
Playing the role of a stranger gives Dennis the kind of thrill that makes him want to climax, where he goes as deep as possible with the charade.
This is about the thrill of wearing another man's skin. That's how you get off. Now, don't you guys want to get off with me?
The other guys in this booth are trying to buy Brian's stock in Atwater, the company that Frank started, and they bribe him with a personalised experience down at the golf club, leading to a hilarious miscommunication where they believe this sprightly young man is going to give them a happy ending kind of good time, which is where the others draw the line, but Dennis, being a psychopath, wants to see this thing through.
Oh, only the ones at the clubs? Yeah, you're a caddy. Clubs. This is a golf... Woo! Let me, Give me a minute. I need to switch gears. I almost, yeah.
One of the funniest scenes is Frank and Charlie hosting some Japanese businessmen, but Charlie, being an uncultured idiot, has no idea how to interact with them.
You bring us the great honor to join with us, and we have many a naked woman and a fish of a pleasure for ye.
Charlie gets fired and teams up with Mac, as they have their own idea for a business, which reincorporates the crow eggs that Charlie found earlier.
Guys, quick announcement. I'm gonna be popping these crow's eggs in the fridge here so they don't spoil. Do not touch them.
At the Atwater shareholder meeting, Charlie and Mac barge in to pitch their product, Fight Milk, a protein shake for bodyguards, made by bodyguards. And Charlie, I wish I could show you this whole thing. It's wonderful.
I drink it every morning so I can fight like the crow.
Just get out of the way. There we go. It's all about the product shot.
This of course has nothing to do with Atwater, but they wanted to save the big reveal for last. And this is Dennis not being Brian Lefebvre. This moment of being caught is when Dennis reaches his climax.
Just a couple of people who totally got off, bro.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Just during this?
Woohoo! Big time, yeah.
Wait, so you jizzed your pants just now? That's gross. The episode ends with Frank selling the business to the Chinese, because despite his love for Atwater, he loves money way more. There's so much going on in this one, and all of it is a lot of fun. I love that we get to see some of Frank's lore, as we keep seeing that he's a millionaire, but we never really saw how he made the money. Even in this, the actual business is kind of vague. We never truly learn what Atwater make, and even Charlie brings this up.
What do we make?
I don't follow. We make money.
No, I know we make. I mean, what do we create?
Anyway, this one has always connected with me, and it makes for a great rewatch. I wouldn't say it feels worthy of top 10, but it's going to be very close. Go in at number 12. Dee offers Charlie $5 to play her online game so that she can take a break from it. And as he's getting tired of the guys making him do these dangerous jobs that get him all dirty and give him electric shocks, he takes up Dee's offer, saying they should really treat him better so that he can reach his full potential. Maybe even ruling the world one day.
Rule the world, huh? Yeah, if that happens, I'll blow myself.
Dennis, wanting to connect with the real world, gets the other guys out to a bar to do some dancing. Then someone recognises them as characters from Dee's game, and this guy happens to be Eric from Internet Comment Etiquette.
His father erupted white morning spittle shooting from the corners of his mouth. No son of mine is gonna drink f***ing Folger's coffee! He belted his son in the face, knocking the boy unconscious. This is a Pete's Coffee house! Drink Pete's coffee and shit!
Back at Dee's real life realm, Charlie explains how he just improved her character, getting her way more followers and making her land more prosperous. And now he sees why the game is so addictive.
It's like when I'm doing good in the game, I'm doing good in life.
Oh, I want to make fun of you for saying that, but I kind of know what you mean.
It's like I'm thriving.
You're thriving. Yeah, I did feel that.
To keep helping her, Dee suggests they get married and consummate the marriage inside of the game. And I love how Charlie treats this like it's actually happening.
Push enter hard, or one like slow push and you do your thing, or a little circular enter. Just push the button. That was good, right?
Was it?
I think.
He gets way deep in the game, to the point where he's gained a lot of fame as a powerful king. Mac and Frank join in too, with varying levels of success, with Frank convincing some lonely man to send him gifts IRL.
I just got sent a whole box of peaches. Real ones. I'm eating like a goddamn islander.
Giving up on the idea of connecting with the real world, Dennis checks out a sensory deprivation tank so he can be transported to a new reality where a British version of Dennis teaches him about controlling his world and being his own god.
Life is all in your mind. If you believe it to be real, then it's real.
Remember what he said at the start?
Rule the world, huh? Yeah, if that happens, I'll blow myself.
Well, here's the payoff. The peak of Charlie's obsession with being king happens when the gang tries to conspire against him, and he dresses them down to know their place.
How dare you all conspire against me? How dare you! You know what? I want everyone out. Everyone get out of my apartment.
On Dennis's return, he announces that as he's the god, he shuts it all down by deleting their characters. Oh, and I can't forget this funny detail, that he comes in with this weird attempt at a British accent.
Stop! True or not? This game has gone on long enough. Shit.
Being a person who used to be addicted to WoW, I find a lot of humour in seeing how disgusting Charlie and Dee look as they get deeper into the game, taking everything so seriously. Being objective, I wouldn't say it's the funniest of episodes, and if you can't relate to playing MMOs to such an absurd level, this episode won't do as much for you. But still, I'd argue there's never a dull moment, and it's a fun dynamic for the gang. After much deliberation, I'm going to say it belongs right here, at number 35. It's Mac and Dennis's monthly dinner out, a special time that they hope to celebrate without being around the gang. But then Charlie and Frank turn up, hoping for the same thing. And of course, the same goes for Dee.
God damn it.
They try to ignore each other the best they can, but then the insult of not paying tribute to each other soon turns into pettiness. Wrapped up in this is a new side character, simply called the Waiter, compelled to deal with their dramas and pass along their petty messages.
Actually, it was your friends over at the other table. And they wanted me to relay to you that it's our most expensive bottle. They said to say that.
This episode is jam-packed with funny moments that mostly can't be explained out of sequence or without context, so we're going to be skipping pretty much all of them. But we have these two moments which I have to mention. The first one is another sunny meme, where Mac and Charlie catch each other's gaze, and they intensely stare each other down.
Are you staring at them? Yeah, dude, Charlie's looking right at me. Stop it. Dude, stop it. He stopped looking at stop.
When their bickering comes to a head, and they prepare to fight each other, with Frank and Charlie looking like Italian mobsters. We get this funny punchline as the waiter trips up while trying to intervene and gets piping hot spaghetti all down him, which is a callback to a comment Mac made near the very start.
Maybe we'll get lucky and watch one of these dumbass waiters spill spaghetti sauce all over himself, fall down or something.
Okay, all right, well, let's not be childish. Let's keep it classy.
Son of a bitch!
With this being so funny, the gang are friends once more. It's a classic, and one that I can't really find fault with. It's a good comedic premise that I think is very well written, and the introduction of the waiter makes it all the more enjoyable. It's also one of the more mellow episodes, so if you don't enjoy it when the gang are all screaming at each other, this one's going to be more accessible to you. Of the episodes so far, this is an easy top 10, but it's not my absolute favourite, going just above The Gang Gets Trapped at number 7. Frank's poor vision means he relies on recorded directions to find his way to Paddy's, and in his frustration and distraction, he ends up crashing into Dennis, who was eating a bowl of cereal. At the bar, they have a dispute over who should pay for the damages to the interior, the man who can't see and was driving a car, or the man who was also breaking the law by eating a bowl of cereal while driving a car.
You're eating a bowl of cereal?
Yes, it's not that crazy. That's not what this is about.
Well, it's a little bit about
Yeah, there's a high spill factor.
They decide to settle this dispute in-house, replicating court proceedings with their usual flair of disorder and irrelevant arguments. Mac is the MVP of this episode, making balls to help the gang decide on a winner, and another ball to disprove evolution.
And he disproved that theory, making Aristotle and everybody else on Earth look like a bitch.
Yeah, it really does go this far, of course. He actually makes a thought-provoking point in that his faith in God is similar to Dennis's faith in science, believing in information that he's never personally looked into.
You get your information from a book written by men you've never met, and you take their words as truth based on a willingness to believe. A leap of, dare I say it, faith?
And no, this isn't me making any personal statements about my own beliefs. Another great moment is Charlie convincing the court that only a donkey-brained person would cause such an accident, and Frank has a certificate clearing him of having donkey brains. But the same can't be said for Dennis.
Do you have any such certificate?
One small detail that I love is that throughout the whole trial, there's one guy drinking at the bar. And I love this because it's so easy to forget that the gang are supposed to be running the business, but more often than not, they're just doing their own thing.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man. No worries. Have a good one.
Nice day.
Bye-bye.
With the trial coming to a stalemate, they decide to replicate the events before the crash to see if they get the same outcome. They pin the blame on Dee for distracting Frank.
Should we have a trial? Me and Charlie?
There's too many trials. It's too many trials.
If you're interested in hearing a real lawyer reacting to these kinds of episodes, Legal Eagle is a great channel. Anyway, let's rank this final episode of the season. It's in the upper half for sure. Not one that I would say is crazy good, it's just decent, and I'm going to place it at 31. Well, that does it for another season of Sunny. If you had a good time with this one, it would be awesome of you if you dropped a like before you leave. I'm still hopeful that the Sunny fanbase will eventually find my channel, but maybe we'll see that happen more towards the end of the series. Most importantly, I'm still having a good time making these, and I know that you guys watching enjoy them too. So the train's gonna keep on rolling. If you see your name here, I give you excessive and exaggerated Japanese bows. And if you're casually watching, I give you some of my crow eggs, which are in abundance this time of year. Thanks again guys, and see you soon.